Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Mech Engineer. Where in the last episode, we managed to clear out 2 missions. We got a bit of research done. We also fielded our very first, melee-focused mech. Really, we brought it with the melee attack so it could specifically drill through walls, but the melee attack did actually prove to be quite good, because the dig rig was swarmed quite a lot, and yet came out of that with very minimal damage considering the amount of enemies that got up close and personal with it. It is, of course, equipped with what is effectively a shotgun rotary cannon. Don't think about that one too much, but it works quite well for close-range combatants. Now, the first thing we're going to do in today's episode is actually address one of the comments, one of many comments of this, like so many people noticed this. I did not, so well done to all of you, but the first comment that I saw was by Brad Wiersma, and it pointed out that we've actually, through the process of elimination, located a third nest, and that nest is over here. And the way that this was worked out is, of course, we know that this has to be a nest because this one tile here has to have one nest within 9 tiles, but this tile and this tile specifically eliminate all of these tiles from that potential. So the only place this one can have a nest is over here. So we now know one of the 3 nests that has to be here. And remember, this one can't be a nest because this tile is eliminating that. But interestingly, because this one can only have one nest around it, this 3 tile here only has 4 potential places where a nest could be. And this tile here says that only one nest is within its radius. So of these 2 tiles, only one of them can possibly be a nest. One of them has to be, but only one, which means to still have 3 nests within range, this one has to be by process of elimination. Well done for spotting that. That was actually really, really cool. Now, on with today's episode. First thing we're going to do is check in on the calendar. Tomorrow we're going to get a bunch of components and some research done. Very much looking forward to that. We can't yet do any upgrades, so that's not something we need to worry about. But at the end of the last episode, we did notice that we're starting to heal some of the humans, and this is causing all kinds of different changes. Life support system is getting less effective because there's more people doing more things, needing more life support as a consequence. More oxygen to breathe, more food to eat, so on and so forth. The body uses a lot more fuel when it's doing something instead of being in a hospital bed. Right, but that being said, next up is to check on missions and Sally 4. So let's have a look. We've got a city, I believe, down here. And that has got something that does energy attacks. Not super keen on this, but let's have a look at what you are. Maybe I'm imagining... you're actually quite large. Okay, fair enough. Lifestyle not studied. The possibility of appearing depends on a special algorithm of swarm life based on the planet's spherical coordinate system. Spawn areas are set initially, and then every day the spawn area shifts 15 degrees of longitude east and west, alternating every 10 degrees of latitude. If within the algorithm range, it only appears during the activity phase of the operaria. So I guess it's bands of areas where these will spawn, and they're just kind of shifting every day across the globe. That's quite an interesting way of doing it. They're one of the unique instances of alien life that can attack with energy waves. At a convenient distance for attack, the floss opens up and begins to radiate circular streams of light and waves of varying lengths and frequencies from the central pattern and pores. I guess that's what it means right there. Waves pass through most barriers and heat the external and internal organs of enemies to high temperatures, resulting in death. I'm going to say big fat nope on that one then. I think the other city, yeah, it's just over here, so let's have a look here. You've got something that's long and shoots bullets. All right, then, let's have a look at you as well. 2 different life forms. Though I think this one is the least dangerous of them. Armor 9, there's quite a lot of health, to be fair, and does some decent damage, and it is obviously a ranged attacker, unlike the Operarius. Cecilia moves extremely... Would you say that's Cecilia or Cecilia? I'm going with Cecilia. Moves extremely fast, ignoring most obstacles with short breaks to create quills. She shoots them out of special holes and constantly crawls around. Cecilia is able to bury through most soft rock, I guess burrow, without leaving a mark. This phenomenon is not fully understood. Takes significantly less damage. Okay, I'm not feeling either of those places today. I would love to go there, not at least because we need to, but I guess for now that's a no. This is an Ares, and it's not terribly frightening. It's kind of a melee focused enemy, but it charges over short distances and can stun your mechs when it hits by completely reducing their stability. Probably not something we want to tangle with it unless we have no better option. We've got an option over here. We know that that's not a nest because it can't possibly be, but that would give us a little bit more information out in that direction. Is there anything else? Well, there's over here, I guess. At 32 degrees, though, which isn't the best. What about resources? Well, we'd get quite a lot of Bjorn if we went over here, though. So that is a tempting one. But considering the big enemies are over in this direction, I'm sort of tempted to move in this direction. So clearing out this space and then heading into North Americas via this route would be quite a reasonable one to do. And while 32 degrees is quite hot, it might be worth us trying. Alright, well, let me just quickly check what the temperature tolerance of our mechs is. Always do this. This is a very important tuning part. Again, I didn't really properly demonstrate how you can test a fit mech. But once you've covered all of the necessary systems and you could deploy it, you can bring up the testing menu. And in here, you can adjust the temperature. Now, we're looking at about 32, so we'll power up at 34. And if we're gaining heat at 34, what about 32? We are still gaining at 33. I can't quite get it to 32, so I'm just below. That's not great. We're slowly generating heat at this temperature. Not ideal, to say the least. Okay, so we're gonna pass on that one for now then, though. That is a little bit worrying, I must say. Let's deploy Mr. Pink back onto the into the hangar. What temperature would be down there? 29 down there, so that would be a little bit better. And 29 there. We could probably manage 29, since it really seemed like we were just on the edge at 32. But 32 is a little bit too much for us. Okay, well, we're heading over here then, and on the plus side, we're going to get... oh, I thought we were going to get more... Oh, sorry, no, wrong tile there. Okay, but we're going to get more metallite, and that's always going to be useful for us. So, okay, let's go and see what kind of pilots we're going to set up. Now, we took out Phoenix, I think, on the last run. So today, Mini Murgle is coming with us. You're going to be in the Shepherd, and as a consequence, I've already arranged everyone by their average skills. At this point, I want people who are especially got an especially good relationship with Mini Murgle. That looks like Soundsphere and Regeray are given. So Soundsphere, CBS is decent. Reactions aren't amazing. So I'm going to put you in Mr. Brown. Regeray, you're going to have Shellcracker for the Brucus, and then Mini Murgle again. Let's have a look. We've got Synthetic Samurai could come out, but maybe this is an opportunity to start building relations with someone who you haven't got great relationships with yet. Joe looks like a good one. Also, Joe is only a level 2, which means that, you know, we're not far off being able to get you to level 3, and thus, same with Regeray, actually, getting some new talent, so that would actually be quite nice. Now, currently, I can only field a mech once a turn. We don't have even close to the amount of mechs that I would like to be able to field 2 lances per turn. So I'm not going to be doing another mission after this. I may as well take out 5 people just to get a little bit of extra experience gain. Now, it depends a little bit on the cost of fielding your mechs, but I don't think our current setup is especially expensive. So, you know what, Winterblade, you're coming out in the dig rig. There we go. I think this one will be decent for us. Now, I can't clearly see where the where our plant dragon is going to be, the Columbra. I think it might be in there, just as a guess. But let's go ahead and set this up. Now, our longest range combatant, Mini Murgle, with the tank gun. You can aim for the ovums, take out the nests as quickly as you can. Obviously, Shellcracker should be going for the Brucus, and then it doesn't really matter in what order we put the rest. Now, to take out more than 4, and you can only take out 4 or 8. You don't have anything beyond 8, but you just hit that little dial there, and then you can assign more people. And it is that simple. So we need 181 Bjorn and 133 Skalaknit to break even with this deployment. Hopefully we will get a lot more than that, but the Brucus have to be a fairly high priority. In fact, so much so, well, actually, no, you're super short range. So much so that I'm actually going to tell you to focus on the Brucus as well. their sound sphere. Let's make sure that we take them down nice and indeed fast. Okay, time for us to get out onto the battle. There we go. Now, first thing, as usual, press tab to turn on the WASD camera, press T to go into full screen to quickly scan the battlefield. We've got 1 nest, 2 nest, I'm actually at 3 nest, 4. There are 5. Oh, there we are. There's a 5th one in there. Okay. We've got 1 Brucus there. Might even have both Brucus. No, only 1 so far. Where's the other one, though? Sometimes it's a lot easier to see them on the map. Yes, there we are. That little point there. For some reason, it's a lot easier to see because the Brucus always seem to have a little bit of green on their tail. Or maybe that represents all the resources that are inside them, waiting to be smashed out of them. Either way, let's get into this fight. You can just move up here. Oh, wow, that shot is so glorious. Just going straight through there, destroying everything. Keep moving up. We need to get rid of the brute. Oh, damn it, it managed to deploy its mines. Let's draw back from those before they activate. Shall we? I think that's probably wise. Keep falling back for now. It is up and running and a kind of annoyance. Okay, well, we can head over in this direction, take out this nest on the way, might even be able to take out that turret as it approaches, but right now the main thing is just getting rid of the nest so that we can thin out the amount of Operarius spawning, because they will not slow down until we've taken care of the nest that they're coming from. Right, we're just going to go up and around here. There's no reason for us to play with that nest, honestly. Sorry, the turret, if we don't have to. We do have a nest over there, and we've got a Brucus heading down this way. Move up and around this muddy area, this swampy tile here. It's going to have less good footing, but that's fine. We just want to get into position to take this out before it can really deal with us. There we go, perfect. I don't even think it managed to get off its... managed to deploy its turrets, which is ideal for us. Right, we should be able to just get in here and be able to do damage on the nests over there. Well, apparently, no. Apparently, oh, actually, no, our rockets are actually getting there. That's not too terribly bad, but honestly, it's probably not the best place for us to be stood to take care of it. Managed to take out one of the turrets already. We could honestly just go up and around, but I think what we're going to do is just going to start skirting up around this edge here. I think that's going to be the better place for us to approach this turret from. There we go. We've taken a little bit of damage there, but nothing too terrifying. Main thing is for our units to keep their priority targets wherever they can. And there we go. That nest has already been removed. We can start approaching now, being a little bit more aggressive. Honestly, I think I'm probably a little bit guilty of not being aggressive enough. Really? Can you stop shooting things right next to yourself, you dummy? My lord, let's have a look. Did you actually take any big damage there? No, luckily. Though you were trying your hardest, it felt like. Alright. Let's pause this here. We're going to take a path all the way around into position where hopefully we can start attacking. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. The main thing is we got both Brucus. That was the big thing I was concerned about. And there we go. And honestly, we can just march all the way straight up at this point. And by the time that this has come all the way back around, we should have already destroyed the Columbra as well. There we go. Energy shield is down. And honestly, the length of time it takes us to take this out does worry me a little bit. Not gonna lie. I would feel much more confident if once the energy shield was down, this just melted. But that's not what's happening so far. Right. Remember, we need 133 stalagmites to break even, and we did. Nice. Okay, so that was still a profitable journey. Not as profitable as it could have been, but we did get a decent bit of extra experience on everyone, and that is something I'm very happy to see. All of the level 2s are now a good way towards being level 3. Regery will probably be level 3 on the next mission, which is actually quite nice. Right, let's have a look. Once again, Mini Murgle. Perfect obedience. Not so much for Regery. Or for Winterblade, though Sound Sphere doing quite well. But Sound Sphere, I think, had actually a really decent relationship with Mini Murgle, or at least as far as everyone else went. Yeah, no, this is it is laughable how disobedient these soldiers are. My goodness. Alright, that was the main thing. So, mission debrief. We need to get people in the hospital and training, and we certainly need more of that, it seems. But first, as ever, get the people with the lowest vitality. We're actually starting to get a bit better with the vitality. I'm feeling a little bit less concerned about that. Synthetic Samurai, once you're... Okay, you're doing sports. Nope, you're in the hospital. Bob up next, also doing sports. Once again, in the hospital. Now for CBS. Still Phoenix Talia. That is one of our squad leaders being the worst for general combat skills is a bit of a rough pill to swallow, not gonna lie. Alright, we haven't got any research or production to really roll with, though. That being said, tomorrow we get a load of engineers back. You know what? I think we can in fact afford to queue up some more components. How much would it cost me to get another tank gun? 35. Take me 5 days though, which is a bit of a long period of time for that, but I'm going to order it. Sure, we'll have that one ready in 5 days. Okay, well that's about everything. All that remains now is moving the city and other strategic actions on the to-do list. We've cleared this out though. We can see that there are 3 within this tile, 1 within this tile. We don't know what's down there, so I can't say for certain. This is still a bit of an unclear choice, I would say. Since there really could be quite a few things over there. What I want to do is try and skirt around the edge where we've got complete clarity. And much like Minesweeper, I just need to expand out the area where I know there aren't mines and then start making decisions around the rest of it. But for now, we're going to move the city down into this cleared tile and we'll choose what we're going to attack next turn. But that is all for this one, so time to pass the day. There we go. We've got our components and we've got a lot of research done. Very nice. Some wounded humans are now recovered. And food supply, not doing too bad actually, at 93%. That's actually a lot better than I was expecting. Alright, well the first thing we want to do then is city upgrades. Now, one of the first ones I'm going to go for is the main reactor. The main reactor, one level of this, because it'll give us 10% more energy. That is a huge upgrade for us. That is a huge gain for a single upgrade. It does cost a fair bit though, but I think that's going to be a very important one for us. Next up, we've now got 3 upgrades to spend on food supply and life support system, I would say. Now, one way that you can... right now, everything with like a cyan border or ring around it is the things that I can afford to upgrade. If we have a hover over any particular system, you'll see more of a turquoise border flashing. It's quite subtle, and I imagine even more so with YouTube encoding. But those are all the systems that directly impact this in some meaningful way. Likewise with food supply and life support systems. These are the ones that I want to focus on right now. So let's have a look from top down. Let's go. So life support systems, let's have a look at you. The air purification system. Air from nearby areas is collected, cleaned, oxygenated, and returned back. This would be a big bump to the life support system. However, we can't upgrade it because we need to upgrade something else. Now, will this help? It will actually help with wounded humans, life support, consumer goods, city damage, and energy. This is a residential area, but it's not a big bang for buck upgrade. Let's see if there are other ones. Well, we can have a look over here, I suppose. We still can't do this. The control center. We can have a look over here. There's the communications center. This lowers the time between orders. It is actually worth us looking at some point, but it's not a huge priority. If we have a look down here, this is another residential area. We can't upgrade that one, sadly. Nor can we upgrade this one. I think we're probably going to have to bite the bullet and upgrade the lower levels so that everything else can at least be built up from there. It doesn't look like I've got anything I can easily upgrade. No, that is... an unfortunate one. Okay, well, all of these are to some degree reliant on... Let's have a look. Oh, I mean, this one wouldn't be terrible. Consumer goods, components. It's not exactly what I would be looking for, but might not be the worst options. New technologies department. No, I think we're going to go with the original plan. The air purification system, this can be upgraded 1 level, so I'm going to do that. And then that one is going to now need this level upgraded in another air purification system. Life support systems, wounded humans, consumer goods, city damage. We're going to upgrade that one a level. And at this point, we can start looking all the way down. This one will give us more components, city damage and city energy. Sure, we'll go ahead and we'll upgrade that one as well. There we go. We've actually spent quite a lot of our materials there on building all of this up, but with the goal of getting this air purification system up and running. However, now life systems are actually above food supply, so the next turn we'll look at food supply, and this is basically how we're going to be doing that. We're going to be working down through the city and finding the topmost thing I want to upgrade and then kind of following its trail all the way down to find something else. If you want to spend a lot more time, I'm kind of glossing over this a little bit because of the nature of trying to put together a recording and not, you know, dive too deeply in the minutia, but it is worth looking over every single one because you can sometimes find kind of statistical outliers where they actually give quite a lot of bang for buck on a specific system and are otherwise completely unremarkable and would quite possibly be overlooked. But for now, this is good enough, I think. Right, next up, missions, and indeed mechs. Right, well, first things first, let's check. No, that city is even worse than it was last time. However, this one is looking much, much more approachable. I greatly appreciate it. Now, there is, however, a little icon there. I don't remember what that means, but let's have a quick look. Map. Is there? There we go. Number 3. Fire weather effect. Adds a moving sunbeam zone of high temperature. Alright, we're going to try and avoid that one as much as we can, because that would be bad to get caught in. If we have a look down here, the giants are approaching each other. Next turn, this one is going to eat this one. I can only imagine this one will escape if it moves directly away, but I don't think it will. I think they've basically now met and they're going to gobble each other up, and then we'll have 2 of the golden giants, which honestly isn't a bad deal for us because, again, from my observations, that's the far more sedentary one. And as they move around, they spread biomass to the tiles beneath them, and we don't want that. So I'm okay with having 2 golden giants. That's going to give us a little bit of a pause on the timer there. We're not going to have to be as worried. Now, this is not the greatest place, I'm going to say, for Shellcracker. But I would still like to take out more mechs. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and say... Marshmallow, really? You know what? That's fine. When you want to be called the Marshmallow, you can be called the Marshmallow. It's absolutely okay, but we do actually have a new motor now, thanks to the research that we just completed. Also, we've now got a new auxiliary slot, and that is needle bullets. Improves kinetic bullets underwater. Does not stack, so only one of these is necessary. But this is going to give us a little bit more carrying capacity, something I'm very, very happy with. In fact, a lot, almost 20 more carrying capacity. We are definitely going to want a reactor that is able to handle the external temperatures, so... once again, hook that up. I don't see too much reason to go for anything other than what we've been doing so far. This is our general ICE reactor for the time being. Let's hook that into the Marshmallow. And then we need to decide on weapon systems. We're going to be in a fairly close-in area, but I'm thinking, well... we are not going to be fielding... I don't want to take out another shotgun. I think that's good on the dig rig. And I don't really want to have the same cannons that we've got right now. So I'm actually feeling maybe a fire cannon would be a fun thing to play with. And we're definitely not going to have to worry about the weight on this one. Though, thinking about that... if I don't need the weight, I'll probably just pop on the regular motor and I'll put the better motor onto the Shepherd so it can carry that hulking great gun around a little bit better. But let's go ahead and find the fire mod. There we go. Right, let's open this up. That little splash there is fire, and we definitely want a lot of damage on this one because the more fire, the better. And I'm not too worried about the accuracy this time around because I'm actually okay if fire is getting spread all over the place, especially against Operarius, because that's going to mean that as they're walking through, they're having to walk through the flames. The flames obviously do go out, but they do do a fair bit of damage whilst they're there. And if we actually bring this in close so you can see a lot of the shots landing, the potential damage is actually going up quite a lot. If I bring down the armor, now this would be the armor on a Brucus, for example, the shots are going straight through and are not causing fire. fire, unfortunately. So that's okay for the time being. But where they're actually landing, getting a decent amount of damage being applied because the fire on the ground. Damage taken is quite huge. I think this will be a fine weapon, and one of the only ones where I'm going to increase the fire rate. There we go. Seeing some kind of crazy numbers occasionally. That's good enough for me, I think. There we are. Out at a greater distance is going to be much less capable, but this is more of a swarm clearer weapon, I would say. Let's pop that over there and get the marshmallow. You know what? Having the marshmallow with a flame weapon. I wasn't even aiming for that, but I think that's actually kind of cool. Right, there we go. So, yeah, the weight is... Weight would actually be a bit of a problem. However, let's pop that in. Yeah, that's giving us enough. We can easily get enough armor on this. Let's pop in an energy shield. Let's pop in one layer of armor there, and we'll pop in a strike face as well, I think. Let's go for the 3-6. Oh, do we not have enough of that? We do not. My bad. Okay, well, let's have a look. Can I make sure that I'm on the strike faces only? Thank you. We definitely don't have 6 weight. Yeah, we'll have to have 3-5, but that's okay. Still good enough, and then we'll just top the rest off with ablative armor there. It's only got a passive armor of 10. I really would like to improve that. We need to get more of those motors. So remind me by the end of the episode that I definitely want to add those onto the production queue if we can. We want a lot of weight capacity for our new mechs. So let's get you out there. That should be good. And we're going to bring the Shepherd back in, I think. There we are. And tune you up a little bit. Now, if we pop you in here, get you a better, more powerful motor. There we are. Quite nice indeed. Which means if I were to redline this motor here, in fact, if I were to push it as much as it was before, we could push it a little bit further if I really wanted to, but this is going to make this quite a warm vehicle. Maybe pull this down instead. That way it's going to operate that much better, and I could possibly afford to have the energy shield as well. That actually is quite nice, and this gives me 4 extra weight units to spare. So let's pull that down. There we go. That's just a little bit too much. I guess I can redline one of the motors. That's not a problem. But that gives us a little bit more that I can invest, and I could either put that into accuracy or fire rate. It's not really going to make that much of a difference for fire rate, but sure, we'll pop it into fire rate over damage, because I don't think it's going to make much difference. Well, actually, that being said, this is one of these things where it seems like it's a percentage increase to the base stat. So a high damage weapon is going to get more out of increasing the damage stat, and a low fire rate weapon is going to get less out of increasing the fire rate stat. As far as I can see, anyway, that seems to be the way it works. So I'll operate with that in mind. Do let me know if that is incorrect, but it appears to be the case. Right, there we are. 1 red line, and that gives us everything we need. This is the new and improved... Oh, did I... Ah, no, we're just too much. I can't red line this reactor unless I pop this in which case I can. We'll drop one of the reload controls. This is an incredibly ammo efficient weapon, so it's less important. So having that in there, I think is well worth it. There we go. That will be fine, and we can then deploy. Though let's just double check. If we were to put the temperature up to about 29, are you going to be okay? Let's pop it up there. Yeah, you're still cooling at that temperature, so that's all fine. Okay, there we go. Shepherd has been rejigged. Okay, this time we're heading over here, so let's get our pilot assigned. Now for this mission, we're going to be taking out Phoenix, I think. Yeah, you're up to 47 on the CPS test. Perfect reactions. Quite high vitality. I like that a lot. Now we'll just make sure that we're pulling in people that you've got a good relationship with. So, honestly, Bicklow and Soundsphere, it seems that they're actually doing quite well as a general rule. Soundsphere next, please. There we go. And who else? We've got Isham, Joe. Let's get Isham and Joe in there, I think, since they're going to be fairly close to their next level. We're not going to be taking the Shellcracker. I really just don't feel that we want a rocket mech in tight urban environments. I think this is good. We've got a lot of level 2s. If I could take a Regery, though, instead of Isham, I think that might be better, just because Regery is so close to a level up. Winterblade is quite far from it. Yeah, I think this is a good group. Alright, time for us to get out and into the fight then. We are still going to have 2 Brukers, so we're probably going to roll with the same kind of overall setup that I've got there. But we're not going to have as many people to deal with it. Though Marshmallow might actually be a good person to fight in that. Though it does occur to me, sadly, a little bit too late, that I didn't test out the mech, the range on the fire. But honestly, just spray and pray with that thing, because it's gonna, as long as you're aiming at something that is an enemy, even if the shot goes wild, it could still catch another enemy just with the fire cone. I'm not sure how that'll affect our mechs. I guess we're gonna find out. But let's get out into the fight. Alright, so once again, tab T. Let's have a look. 2 nests, Brucus, a turret. Now, I believe that we can actually claim those turrets ourselves. Another Brucus over there, and a load of nests around the Columbra, which is not an ideal position for us, if I'm honest. Right, let's get up here, and I'm going to have the dig rig go through here. So let's come back out of that. I need to find the dig rig specifically. Dig rig is... It is number 5. Okay, that's actually brilliant for us. Okay, number 5 is dig rig. So I'm going to deselect everyone but dig rig. And I want you to just head up and dig all of that. Then everyone else can reposition behind here. As soon as the dig rig has managed to drill that out, there we go, clear line of sight. Number 2 is all just wandering off, and it's somewhat concerning, I'm not going to lie. Right, let's grab dig rig as well, move in, there we go. Now you're on the move, it's going to be a while before we get to you. I think I'm going to have, once again, dig rig just head over here, clear this out if I can. Oh, we need to wait a little bit longer. There we go. Have we got dig rig selected? There we go. There we are, and then you can head on back. That'll be fine. Thank you very much, dig rig. Just get rid of all of that. Perfect. There's the sun over there. Beware the sun. It is, after all, a deadly laser. And it is literally coming straight for our lance. So just relocate, please. Oh, my lord. Why is the sun chasing me? Why should I even be surprised? Hate the sun. Alright, let's get on over here. Don't go up through there. That would be very... Well, I guess the dig rig could, because the dig rig is fine in tight quarters because of the melee, but otherwise, let's try and avoid that. Right, there we go. Let's move on up. Just charge through if you can, please and thank you, and take out the Brucus. If you get next to a turret, you will reactivate it and it will start attacking autonomously, which is very much what we want. I don't know what the stats on that weapon are specifically. I don't trust the sun one tiny little bit, so draw right back. Thank you. We will hang back here for a few moments, let the sun go through, and then we're going to make a press for this area over here. There we are. They're coming around behind us, but that's okay. Not too much of a problem. Like, start moving. That turret will be able to handle this area for the most part, I should imagine. Right, there we go. Now, is this going to be too close? It is just going to be too close. So draw back for now. There we go. Let the Columbra forget that we exist. I would actually really like it if the Lance would move over here. Is it still a Lance if you've got 5 mechs? I don't think it is it? I think it's 4 or less. I could be wrong. Someone who's much more au fait with like battle tech and just mercenary lingo in general, please let me know in the comments. Bad news bears. It's gonna go for it. It's just melted through a couple of people's. Oh wow, that was face tanking right there. How much damage did we take? Someone took a little bit. Mr. Brown took a bit. Wow, well done, Mr. Brown. I'm sure that you lived up to your name right there and just face tanking a plant dragon's mouth laser. But well done, I approve. Okay, you can go ahead and complete the mission. I think we got everything from that one. That was actually relatively easily done. I approve. Shame we couldn't move that turret. That would have been cool if we could have just picked that up and brought it with us. Let's have a look. We got 20 new engineers, 20 new scientists as well, and a lot of materials. That was actually quite profitable for us in the end. Okay, let's have a look. Phoenix Talia, okay, only 4 minutes disobeying, 4 seconds disobeying my orders. I guess that's okay. Not bad. Bicklow was absolutely, well, I mean, was at least as good at following Phoenix's orders as Phoenix was good at following mine. Same with Soundsphere. Joe letting the team down there. Joe, not gonna lie. And Regery, 12.25. But you know what? I haven't actually renamed some of the pilots here, and it just occurred to me because I was referring to Joe. My bad on that one. Okay, so we need to get Joe a new name. I apologize. No wonder you were not following orders. You know, how can you follow orders when I haven't given you a name? Please, everyone, welcome Encrypt to the team. Thank you very much for your patron support, Encrypt. It means the world, and I hope that you will forgive me for sending you out without your proper call sign there, but it's all done now. Water under the bridge, eh? Right, there we go. Let's get everyone back down, and Regery has in fact leveled up glorious. Now, we've already got 2 people who can handle the squad leader role, so I don't need to set you up with any kind of role in that regard. In fact, now I can focus on other things. We've got natural evasion, which would be good if I popped you in the dig rig. Increased accuracy, good for anyone. Can repair allied mechs with a drone. The drone is in use all the time, requires a drone module. Now that one would be a very, very nice one to have once we've unlocked drones, which are a little ways away. So I'm not going to worry about it just yet. But eventually, most people should be capable of operating drones. It will dramatically increase our longevity in a fight. Eventually, you know, we will lose the war of attrition given enough time, because the enemy's resources are effectively limitless if we're not destroying the nests, but it will dramatically increase our staying power. Or we can give you natural taunt. Honestly, the evasion and taunt combo would be amazing to have you in the dig rig with that, and we could have a proper little defensive melee mech there. But for now, I think we're going to give you increased accuracy and improved critical chance. Let's go with that one for the time being. Regery, you're going to be a bit of a sniper, and since we've got a cannon on the Mech, we might be seeing a second cannon-wielding mech out fairly soon. Now, this is a very, very minor repair cost, so I'm happy to pay that one. And next up, we've just got to do the hospital and training. So once again, down to vitality and stress. Okay, encrypt, 100%. Let's get it over there. And then it's going to be Ishin. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. And now we want CBS. Wow, okay. 47, you're no longer the worst, Phoenix. Soundsphere, you're going to get some training for now. And actually, that may push your reactions up to 100%, which would be wonderful. What are you up to? Maybe I don't want to know the answer to that, actually, thinking about it. Right, next up is research and production. And I have been very, very much looking forward to this one. Okay, so we have now got the ability to fire bullets underwater when we want to, which is probably going to be very soon. Now, there are a couple of things you can do here. You can continue down this route to get better motors for your for the weight capacity of your mechs. Down this way, I believe leads to lasers and other things. Well, that looks like a missile system, but okay. Down this route, though, is how we're going to get to mechs, and that's kind of the next big thing we want to do. Although there are other options. There's rail guns, there's rocket systems, but we've got 185 scientists. We need 100 for this. Guaranteed 2 days. It's going to give us a better cabin, and it will unlock our route to better mechs, and that's going to be very, very important to me. Moonalon, new Moonalon-based technology, simple pulsed laser, able to work in the atmosphere, reduce the damage underwater, heats up the reactor. Yes, yes, it does. We could afford to get that one right now, and that might not be a bad option. Or we could go for the rocket system. We can't do both, unfortunately, and that makes me a bit sad, but I think we're going to go for Moonalon, and we're going to try and get the laser systems. Let's get that one locked down. That's going to take 5 days, though, so it's not a short ride there. Only 20 staff are needed for this, so I can happily do it, and it takes 4 days. Thin armor plates, highly pressed layers, layered military armor, formerly used on tanks and vehicles in military conflicts on Earth. Blueprint obtained from the general military database. Sure, let's go ahead and unlock that one as well. Perfect. All right, now it's going to be... We're now at a point where more or less every day we are getting some new components in, but we're not going to need that many. Certainly not as many as that. If we have a quick look at our components, we've got 78. We're going to get 125 tomorrow, 125 the day after. Most of these are using far less than that. Probably like a third of what we're producing. So I don't think we absolutely need to sink into more components. It is a possibility, but I think instead get the stronger motors. This will take 20 engineers, 10 Skalagnates, 5 Munilon, 4 Bjorn, 35 Metalite, and will take me 3 days. So normally this would only take 1 day to produce, which is actually quite glorious. I'm going to want 4 of them. So we're going to put all of this into hangar 2, since I'm already using up one of the slots. I may as well. So let's pop all of these in there. Oh, well, 3, I guess. We're just shy of being able to get the 4th, but technically speaking, we've already got 1 deployed, so we would be able to deploy 1 mech with all 4 of these, and that would actually be amazing. Now, we have just tied up 60 of our engineers, which kind of sucks a little bit, but that is all fine in the end, I think. Right, let's head back out. The last thing for us to do is strategic planning. Let's have a look. So we know that there's one over here. We know that there is not one here. So this one has to be around there. This one has to be... There's a lot of things saying 1 around here right now. And until I can see what's over here, I cannot assume that there is an item here. But honestly, if there were a single nest here, I wouldn't be too surprised. And that would complete all of that together. Where do we want to move right now? We've cleared that one out. There's a good chance that this one will be clear tomorrow. Do we actually want to move the city? I don't think we do. I think we're going to stand here. We're going to hopefully clear out this location next turn. Can I actually field an attack over there? No, I can't. You know what? Sure. We're going to move in this direction simply because then I'll have the option of potentially launching a mission in this direction. I don't actually want to go this way, but rather than waste the opportunity to move around, this will allow me to check this area out, and I'll still have access to run a mission in this tile. It seems I can run missions 2 tiles away from the city. So if we move 1 tile in that direction, I should be able to get over here, and if nothing else, we'll be able to locate another nest, and that is always worth it. But okay, looking at what we've got coming up, got quite a few goodies in the next couple of days, but it's time to pass the next one. There we go. We have got another delivery of components. Ooh, City Energy is actually doing really well. We're up to 84.96% of the meeting the needs of the city's energy supply. That might be worth actually gunning down and trying to hit that at 100% to slow down the city damage. That wouldn't be terribly bad, I must confess. I think that might be something we'll have a look into. Alright, I just checked the recording and it looks like we've got enough time for at least 1 more day, so what do you say? We're going to go ahead and jump into the city upgrade portion now. Now, as I said, we got 84% out of 96. We're actually really close to being able to finish this one, and that really excites me. Now, what do we need? How much would it cost for us to upgrade the main reactor 1 more level? Because that's going to give us probably enough to push us over. It looks like the one thing that we're held on is the disk. The foundation of the city, responsible for the operation of the movement system and the state of the main supports. This itself will give us a little bit of energy. It'll also give us quite a lot of components and a lot of consumer goods. So, okay, we're going to upgrade this one in hopes of getting up to a 100% satisfaction of energy, which will in turn slow down city damage and may even help with everything else, because the overall efficiency of these systems all kind of combines. Currently, our overall efficiency is only 58%, so getting this up to 100% would be a big help. Right, next up then, we want to have a look at the available missions for today. Firstly, we want to check on the city. This can eat mechs. Look, I'm just gonna go on record here and say I'm not okay with running missions against things that can eat my mechs. That doesn't sound healthy at all, my lord. We could push down here, except it's a little bit hot, and that's very hot. That is super hot. It's a volcano. Okay, we're not going there then. That one is still hot there, unfortunately. What about over here? Well, drags off with tentacles. That one I'm not super keen on either, but this might end up being a nest, and if so, would probably give me a good idea of where we're looking at that point. This one over here, there's almost certainly going to be one down here. I'm kind of thinking that this is where the nest is. We could head over and just take a peek, but not super feeling that one right now. Let's have a look at the enemy here, see what this one's like then. There we go. The Flagellum attacks from afar, releasing tentacles in the direction of the target, trying to entangle it and drag it to itself. Clearly acts in cooperation with Operarius, allowing them to attack and eat prey. The jelly-like body is able to withstand massive damage and regain its shape, but only a limited number of times. The tentacles are able to regrow in seconds and act again. Take significantly less damage from thermal-type weapon projectiles, so our fire won't be as useful here, which is a bit of a shame, if I'm honest. Still, it might not be a terrible one to go for all the same. As you can see down here, the giants have met, and the red giant has been consumed by the golden giant, and now we've got 2 gold. So hopefully they're just going to sit tight down there and not do too much. But okay, I think we might give this one a shot. It's not my first pick, to be certain, but the alternative is trying to take on an area which is a little bit too hot for my liking. So I think we'll at least exhaust this route, and who knows, we might end up landing on a nest, and if so, then as I've mentioned before, we're simply going to run away. Right, let's take everyone off the hospital and training. Organize by wow, Bicklow, you enjoying yourself there? Having a bit of a disco? I see. Right, Mini Murgle, let's get you into position. Who's going to be joining you? Let's make sure that we've got relationships visible. We'll take Soundsphere. Sure, you can have Mr. Pink. We'll take Regery. Well, actually, maybe Regery not. Soundsphere, definitely. We want people who are about to level up, I think. So, sure, Bicklow, you're coming out. You're a bit low on the relationship front, but I'm okay with that for the time being. We could take Winterblade, perhaps. Sure, Winterblade, again, a little bit low, but not the worst. We can have you in Marshmallow. Honestly, I could take a 6 group here. We don't have that many other options right now, so I think taking out 6 is fine. But we're getting to a point that if I had 2 mission options with just Operarius, I might field 2 groups of 3. Thus covering more ground and getting more materials back, because of course the more materials that I deploy, the harder it is to break even, unfortunately. But there we are. Let's see, who else do we want to bring along? We could bring Encrypt. Encrypt is about to level up. Sure, you can have the dig rig, Encrypt, and then finally we will pick, let's have a look right at the top, Synthetic Samurai. Let's get you out there as well. We might actually see a couple of people level up right now, and in that case, we might look at setting up a dig rig pilot specifically. Alright, let's get set up. We are going to want to get a couple of different priorities here, so let's go with the Ovum for Mini Murgle. I would like Brucus to also be targeted by Shellcracker. We've got a lot of people coming out right now. I'm going to also have Brucus targeted by Marshmallow. Well, let's pop Marshmallow over there. However, I think we are going to have our shard cannons targeting... Yeah, you can target the... I think it was Flagella. We'll have dig rig also target it with the melee attacks and the shotgun, and then finally one person, Piccolo and Mr. Brown, can target the Operarius. Okay, this is a fairly expensive group to launch, but hopefully we can make our money back. We'll see. Right, once again, we've got tab T. Let's have a look around. Nest. That's 2, 3, and 4. We've got the Brucus there, Brucus here, Brucus there. So 3 Brucus, that's not terrible. We've got another nest there as well. This is actually a fairly large area for us to be attacking. Alright, scanning right now, but let's move out. We can tell it's not a nest because it's got the Columbra. If it had a nest, it wouldn't have our plant dragon in the middle of it. There we are. Let's get everyone together. Try to stick together. With the more people, though, it gets a little bit harder to coordinate them and make sure that they stick as a group. Let's get everyone down here. Piccolo does not want to move with the group, unfortunately, which I'm not super happy about, but alright, we'll try and make do where we can. All of the Brucus are together, which isn't great. I would prefer them to isolate themselves a bit more, because then we would have an easier time of taking them out, because I'd be able to focus my firepower on one at a time. Right, let's continue moving down. We want to make sure that there's nothing bad Ooh, what is that sound? Oh, you're going through the swamp, that's fine. Has anyone spotted the oh, I think that's one of the nasties, the ones with the tentacles. Not actually seeming that dangerous so far, I must say. I'm relatively confident about our abilities. Mind you, we have got 6 mechs here, so I guess we have stacked the odds very heavily in our favour. But there's nothing wrong with that, ultimately. We're fighting as the underdogs in this battle to begin with, so I make no apologies for taking whatever chance of an advantage we can possibly get. Wow, okay, their tentacles are attempting, but we're managing to just destroy them as they're approaching, which is actually pretty good. Right, where are the Brucus? One there. Where are the other Brucus? 1, 2, where's the third? Please tell me we didn't engage the third enough to cause it to run away without us being able to kill it. Oh no, did we? That will make me ultra sad. It looks like that might have happened, actually. Ah, well, poop. Okay, well, let's get in there and take out the Columbra, if we can. Let's just reposition the lance down here. I'm going to check out who is piloting the dig rig right now. That is number 5, okay? So I'm going to deselect everyone but the dig rig. I'm going to have the dig rig clear a path for us in a moment. There we go. I want you to take out all of those boulders there. You should be fine. We'll have a watch. Oh, are they actually able to... Ooh. Are they not able to latch onto the dig rig? That would actually be kind of amazing if that were the case. I would be A-okay with that. Right, we're going to need to get in a bit closer. Move forward if you can. Just get... I can see that the turrets have been deployed here by at least one of them. There we go, you've gone down. Let's continue attacking, please. There we are, energy shield is offline. Apply more damage before it decides to apply damage to us. Oh, you're refocusing on the Brucus, which is not what I want you to do, honestly. Let's get right back. There we go, now charge forward. The Brucus is taking... That's why I didn't really want the Brucuses to be too close together, because they would spread their firepower around a bit. There we go, it's down. We're in range of quite a few of the turrets, unfortunately, right now, but that's just the way it's going to be. Is that everything? It is. Okay, well, we only got 2 of the Brucus. That would have been amazing if we could have taken out 3 of them, because that almost certainly would have paid for this mission. 2 of them is going to be a much closer push, but we'll see. But there we go. This, at the very least, is going to uncover a bunch, or at least one of the nests. Because this was one of the remaining places a nest could be. Right, okay, let's have a quick look. Encrypt, how did you do? 16 seconds. 55 seconds. You know what? That doesn't surprise me. Bicklow was all over the place in that one. Right at the beginning, Bicklow was all over the place. I wonder if there's the amount of people the squad commander is having to try and command. That might actually play a part. 11, 6, not too bad. Soundsphere, well done. One of the only ones that is below 10. Mini Murgle, I don't know what's going on with you and your team, but it's not great. Let's put it that way. Right, okay, well, there we go. We've got a little bit of a cost to repair. Who's damaged? Marshmallow and Digrig. It looks like that's not terrible. And Shepherd, actually, thinking about it. But again, it's probably minor damage for it to only cost this much, so I'm okay with that one. Let's go ahead and clear that one out. Right, we now know for this one to have one nearby, it has to be there. This one can see 2. There is a 3rd. This one can already see 3, so that means none of these can be. This one can see 1, which means this one can't be. So I'm going to say that pretty much we have now eliminated a potential nest from all the way around here, and including these tiles. So there are nests somewhere around here. There's at least, I'm going to say, might well be here to allow for... No, that one would need a couple near it. There's a few things going on over there. There might even be a nest out in the water, perhaps, to make this one make sense for us. But that one actually did clear up a lot of tiles. I wish, for the marking purposes, there was a way for me to mark a tile as definitely not having a nest. That is something we desperately need, because I can only mark either places I know there's a nest, or I could use it to mark places where I know there's not a nest, but then the map would get so cluttered if I was doing that. But I do need something that I can use as a marker for, there is maybe a nest here. Just so I can start isolating something. That would be an amazing thing to add, in my opinion. Right, okay, so we took out the whole squad as much as we could. I think we still broke even, though, just a little bit above, ultimately. But let's have a look. Who needs the vitality? Wow, really? Mini Murgle needs the vitality. I guess so. Okay, Mini Murgle in there. And Bicklow alongside. I'm sorry, you're going to have to stop doing... Okay, no, Bicklow does not stop doing disco. There we go. Bicklow stops doing disco when Bicklow wants to stop doing disco. Next up, we are going to do the CBS. And that is Phoenix with 47. Okay, let's pop you in there. But, Soundsphere, you've got a level up. Well done, you. Now, are we thinking about setting someone up as a dig rig pilot? I think I am. How many other people have we got close to level ups? We've got a couple of people close to level ups. I'm going to say... let me have a quick look at research. How long is this one going to take over here? Because I think... Yeah, I think we're so far away from, I believe... I'm actually not sure where drones are. I think they're somewhere down in this direction. But... yeah, we might be waiting a while for that. So I'm not going to plan to get the drone skill. I don't think we need it just yet. Instead, Soundsphere, you're going to go for accuracy. And we're also going to get encrypt with... we're going to go with... yeah, we're going to go with the taunt. We're going to set encrypt up as our dig rig pilot. We're going to start training them for that particular role. I think that's going to be perfect there. Right, research and production. We've got a bunch of engineers available. So how about we add in... we could fill this out and get 2 mechs worth of this. We haven't got another mech to put these motors on, though, which is the problem. The mechs, unfortunately, take quite a few. If you look up here, it shows you how many hangar slots they require. 5 hangar slots. So, if I want to build another mining mech, I'm going to need to wait for a solid space of hangar spots. So, I'm probably waiting here for 2 days, and then hangar A will have enough spots to build a mech. So, I'm going to pop another motor in hangar B. Sure, there we go. That'll take 4 days. We will allow these components to keep trickling through for the next 2 days, and then, depending on the situation, we will set up a new mech to be built, a new mining mech. I'm uncertain if we really want to go down the route of building more of these, because they are quite expensive things to make. And they take a lot of engineers to do it. And do we really want that many mining mechs when we're going to be unlocking better ones as our research tree persists? We'll make that decision based on how long it'll take for us to get to the next mech, I think. That would probably be the better choice there. Right, okay, well, let's go back to the mission overview. We've cleared out quite a lot of room down here. However, one thing to be aware of. Mountains. Cannot move through mountains. Don't really want to move the ocean, and the nearest city is far away. The clue that we got from the first city we cleared was over here, so I think at this point we've cleared out. We've isolated a couple of new nests. We know there's at least one or two over in this direction, but that's good enough for me. I think instead we're going to start trundling back in this direction, and our goal is now going to be to try and get through here, either there or go further up, depending on which option becomes more viable. But the amount of time that we spend in missions, I think if we really focus our efforts, we should be able to clear this mission before the mechs overheat. It's a bit of a risk, but it's one I think I'm willing to take for now. So that's the final part of the checklist, the move city and strategic actions. Got no other actions that we really want to take. So time for us to go back to the calendar, and let me just double check. I'm always paranoid about it. Let's pass to the next day. Okay, got some more components. We have completed our research on the new cabin, so I can probably hand that out to someone straight away. Wow, we actually managed to help 91 people. I mean, it seems like a small number compared to the 3,400, but every day we're getting better and better at getting people out of the hospital. That is amazing, amazing news. And the overall efficiency has actually increased from yesterday as well. Very, very nice to see. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. The food supply was 100%, actually. Okay, that may have contributed to that. Very nice indeed. Alright, well, that is going to be it for today, though. We are definitely at the point where I don't have enough time for another day's worth of missions, but I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and as ever, I am always looking forward to any feedback in the comments down below, and if you're enjoying this series, then do let Saint Algorithms know by massaging those lovely buttons. But until next time, and as always, from myself and our ever-expanding cast of characters, both mechs and pilots at this point, do take care, everyone.